Welcome back to more Mini Rogue. Back again, playing with all the new council stuff. Today we're gonna check out the flagellant, or flagellant. I'm not too sure actually what the pronunciation is on that. Yeah, so I've not played Mini Rogue for a while because I've been busy and also been away on a work trip and yeah, had some stuff. But now there's a bit of time again, and actually the last few days I've been in a interesting, well, not mood, but mindset where I've thought like, okay, I have a bit more time now. I kind of wanna record another video or want to play some Mini Rogue in general. But then when you get home, you know how it is. It seems much easier to just watch TV or watch a video on YouTube. Maybe even instead of play a board game, watch someone else play a board game. I don't know. Some of you might be familiar with that. But yeah, I always felt like, during the day I felt like, yeah, in the evening I'm gonna play some Mini Rogue or something like that. And then when it got the time to do it, you always take the path of least resistance, which is, TV, phone, whatever. Or just, sometimes you have other stuff to do, but sometimes I've thought to myself, like, I feel like I've just wasted some of my free time. I had something nice I wanted to do, but instead I sat there and watched, like, say, a video or watched TV. And I think that's fine if you really have something that you really want to watch, like a movie or whatever. But, sometimes you just search for something to watch because you feel like being entertained and not putting in much effort from yourself. And if you're really like done with the day, I think that's fine as well. But sometimes I felt like, well, I could have used this time to, use it as hobby time, play board games or do other stuff, other hobby stuff. And yeah, bit weird start to this video. I apologize. We'll get into the game right away. But what I wanted to say is, if you recognize that and you are watching this right now just to pass some time, but actually you maybe have something that you'd rather be doing but just can't be bothered because it's easy to take the path of least resistance, just open your phone or open the computer and watch a video. Why not stop this video right here? This won't run away. You can watch this anytime later if you ever, really feel like it. And yeah, why not stop now and do something you're passionate about? For me, it's playing this game right now. I am really looking forward to it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I think sometimes you got to realize that it's easier to just watch a video or watch TV or whatever. And that little bit of resistance, that little bit of effort that it would take to maybe, I don't know, set up paints for painting or set up a game for playing or whatever else kind of hobby you have, that little bit of effort can be really worth it and actually maybe seems bigger in your mind. And then when you do it, it's like, yeah, like this, I think, took me like 10 minutes to set all of this up, get the camera working and the sound okay, and now I'm ready to play. And otherwise I might have just spent an hour watching, I don't know, anything, watching something I can find that I'm not hugely passionate about. Okay, so this has already been 4.5 minutes, so if you are still here and you really want to watch this right now, I'm glad, but if you don't feel like it, close the video, do something else. I can tell people to stop watching my video because I don't do this for a job, so I want you to enjoy your time as well. But just think about, yeah, consuming media, I guess, willingly or in a mindful way. I don't know. This devolved from a simple chat into maybe a bit too deep of a question. So I'm gonna roll here for our aura and our gizmo, gadget, whatever, accursed jewelry. So white die for the aura, black die for the jewelry. So a 2 and a 2. So that's the opportunistic aura, which we've had before, I believe. And the ring, what was it? Ring of control. All right. And just to remind you, the ring of control allows us to reduce the monster die result by 1 for the remainder of the fight. But this is a combat ability, so this has to be used before rolling the dice, but since it is for the entire fight, if we're going to use it, we want to use it at the beginning anyways. And its passive effect is we can use this to reroll character dice for money. Did we have this last time? It's been a while. I remember a run with this where this was very strong and I basically only used the passive, I think, because it does cost experience to refresh. But yeah, I'll keep this down here as usual, just off screen. We've got our aura, so when we visit treasure or merchant rooms, our torment increases. After defeating the ghost, it decreases. And we gain extra gold when visiting a treasure room card. Let's roll our treasure map. It's a 2, so 1 extra XP, which on the early floors is nothing to sneeze at. And now we'll check out the flagellant and then we'll actually jump into the game. So if we're at 7 HP or below, all of our dice gain +1 for the remainder of the combat sequence, which is nice, but you know, rewards risky play. And to go with that, the exploration skill allows us to lose 3 HP, gaining 1 XP and 1 gold. A bit reminiscent of the witch, I think. Yeah, the witch has that unholy ritual that, what does that do? Doesn't lose your HP, but yeah, it curses and poisons you and then you gain XP for it as well. So similar sort of risk-reward play. Okay, let's get into this here. First room, library. Let's roll. It's just, oops, let's hope for some techniques. 2 XP would be great to start the run with. Nope, that's a 1. That is the mimic book. So we are fighting the criminal, which is the thug. Again, I'm using the new reference card because I feel like it makes the game a bit tougher. And we've still been winning the last few runs anyways. So 10 HP does 2 damage, magic resistant, but gives 2 XP as a reward. We could have had those for free if we wrote the techniques, but like this we'll have to fight. We don't really have an offensive combat skill that we can use just at any time to skip fights or shorten fights. So we still have to roll well, and we're also not starting with any kind of potion. So let's roll here. Actually should keep the thug here. So we're doing 5. But we do have 1 piece of armor, so the thug only does 1 damage to us, which early starting armor is nice. And 6 damage. Okay, so great rolls on our part. Only took 1 HP damage, and that's the thug taken care of. And that's the whole library taken care of. So let's continue here. Got the trap or the corridor. So the trap would suck because being blinded early on can really have a bad impact on the run. However, the corridor could have us fall down, which would be pretty bad as well. I still think the trap is worse because we're only rolling 1 character die, so that means we have a 1/3 chance of success and 2/3 of being blinded. And with the corridor, there's a quite slim chance. We have to roll the 5, so that's a 1 in 6 chance to fall down, and then we need to not roll a success as well. So, and I think all the other stuff at the corridor is fine. Fighting the thug again not great, but we can do it and it would be extra XP. So I actually think this is one of the cases where I'm going to visit the corridor voluntarily. Also should remember our ring of control. Can still use that, although don't really want to waste the XP early on. So that's a 2, which means nothing happens. So all that talk, but didn't do anything in the end. And struggling with the cards here. So we've got the hunter, but we have no money. We've got the murder of crows. Both of these are kind of dead cards for us, because the murder of crows, we're just going to be taking damage and the reward is food, and we're full on food. So that actually is just negative. And the hunter is kind of whatever. We could sell our armor to buy, I don't know, HP maybe, but I don't see the value in that right now. And again, we're full on food. Usually I like seeing the hunter to buy food, right? Still, this will have us have a choice at the end. The murder of crows, that is. But I don't really see why we should take that much damage. Although actually, I think the choice is worth it. I just looked at the stats again. They don't even have that much HP. So it's 3 crows with 3 HP each, so 9. And we do have armor, and we do have our ring of control. No, again, I'm repeating myself here. I don't want to waste the XP. So let's just hope for a high roll. If we can take out at least 1 crow, that would be good, because then they'd only be doing 1 damage to us. Oh, okay, and they can miss as well. So we're only doing 2 damage, which kinda sucks, because that means we didn't kill any crows on the first round. But the first crow missed. The second crits us, which means 1 damage. And the third just does a normal hit, which I think means that gets eaten by our armor. Yeah, so still only took 1 damage, that's fine. Let's keep rolling here. 4, very nice, means we're taking the crows down to 1 single crow remaining. That does crit us, which is annoying. And let's roll again here. But we are now at 7 or below, which means we have +1. Terrible. Now +1 I think just means we add 1 to the die. Doesn't mean that turns misses into 2s or 5s into crits. I think that just is a flat +1. So that means we're doing 1 damage only. And yeah, the crow is doing 1 damage, but our armor blocks that. So 1 more. Can't be serious. So again 1 damage, and the crow does no damage. And finally there's a crit. Could have needed this, or could have used this at the beginning. So yeah, did take a bit of damage there and gained nothing for it, because we're just gaining food. Yeah, but so is life. Let's hope this choice was worth it. So we could have visited the tomb through the hunter, but we did it all for this card. So let's see here. A trap. Okay. Never mind. Let's visit the tomb and hope for a success or a holy potion, XP, criminal fight. I think I'd even be willing to do 1 more now that we're at 7 or below. So that's a ration, which we can't turn into anything useful, so that is wasted as well. This floor really sucked. I don't think we gained much, except for the 2 XP for the criminal fight at the beginning. And I mean 2 XP is 2 XP, but yeah. Does not seem worth it so far. So, we are heading down. Or actually, you know, I could think about using the exploration skill, but losing 3 right now, putting us at 4. Nah. If it gained us 2 XP, I might consider it, but putting us at 4 HP with no healing potion or any other form of healing, I don't think that's smart. Now actually, something I didn't pay any attention to is a treasure map, but accidentally we took the correct path, I just realized, so we gain 1 more XP from that. So actually that is nice now. 3 XP I can live with. And because we didn't visit the merchant either, we didn't increase our torments either. So I completely ignored these 2 cards, but accidentally played them correctly, I think. So we're delving. Yeah, we head down, we spend the food, we refresh our character skill, which we didn't use. And we get to choose the delving card, bandit camp or old staircase. Yeah. Old staircase, nothing happens. Don't need to try the bandit camp and then lose XP, or lose HP, I should say. Okay, I reset. Hey, so I just played the second floor and then realized, or the second area I should say, and then realized that none of it was recorded. When looking back, the recording was only 1 second and I guess didn't save properly or whatever, because it was counting up while recording, but doesn't seem to have kept the footage. Not sure what that's about, so quick update. There was a weapon cache, 2 traps, I chose this one. Did talk at length about it, but I guess short version is that we had the treasure map, so I followed this path. Got blinded here and lost our armor. Fought the bandit to gain some XP. Visited the crypt, had a lore card. Fought the criminal to gain some armor and died against the criminal because our boss was the heliomancer and it was looking really bad at that point. This was sort of the last shot at trying to maybe turn around the run, but I rolled a lot of X's against the bandit and the criminal as well. Yeah, didn't miss much, didn't miss great gameplay, I think. But I just wanted to show it because this is our first loss with the council expansion. The last few runs were all wins and pretty comfortable ones, at least at the end. Some dicey situations along the way, but this just never really got off the ground. And yeah, on the other runs, it's not like I'm cutting out losses or anything. So what you see is what I play. I upload all of it every run. And with the first mini rogue and the first expansions, there were obviously more losses, and with the council it felt like it got a lot easier, especially with the Mountains of Torment and so on. But this is our first loss. I'll just restart and we'll do a fresh run here because it hasn't been long yet. Right then, let's try this again. White die for our aura and black die for the cursed jewelry. So the 5 will be rerolled, that's a 6, will be rerolled, a 3, so 2 3s. So we have the noxious aura, which I don't particularly like because the increase in torment is so much if you are cursed or poisoned, and it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to get rid of it very quickly. And you've got the Bracer of Might. So refreshes using food, which I guess can be nice if you've got a surplus, but could also mean if you run into a dry spell that you won't be able to refresh it for a long time. And we can use it in combat to inflict 6 damage, which I like, and that flips it. But if it is face up, you can carry 1 additional item card. So that means you have to kind of choose, I guess, or maybe if you're maxing out all of your item space and you flip it, I would assume that means we'd have to throw away 1 of the items then. But this has no cost, so just as it stands, this is 1 extra item slot if we don't decide to ever flip it. Yeah, so that's good in and of itself. Let's roll for the treasure map here. Path 4, which gives us food, so that works nicely with the bracer, and we start with 4 food as well, so maybe not a bad start as a whole. And we gotta remember, for our torment, it's only the curse and the poison after delving. And if the monster crits, all of our character die results are increased by 1. So let's see here. Starting out with the rats. I'm not a huge fan, especially because they take away our food that we want to use for our bracer. Now, might this actually then be worth using the Bracer of Might already? Because if we get hit by the rats, we lose HP and lose the food. And if we flip the Bracer to do 6 damage, that increases our odds of killing them in the first round. That way we'd only lose the food. So maybe I'll do that. So let's flip this. Didn't take long. And let's roll here, hope for a 2 at least. Very nice. So rats are dead, we gain 1 XP, and that was already an effective use of the bracer. So we prevented 2 points of damage. I guess because of our armor it's 1 point of damage, but still. So didn't want to use this willy-nilly, but because the monster itself has that food drain effect. I'm not too sure what the exact keyword is there. I think this was well worth it. Okay, should place a token here. Empty shelter or a monster. I mean, early on the monsters are nice to gain XP, but the empty shelter could give us XP as well, and since we don't start with any potions, I think let's do this. And actually we end up fighting anyway, so that's the Adventurous Ghost, which I'm using the Criminal reference card for everything. I guess you could also use a mix of Criminal and Ghost, but we are fighting the Thug. At 10 does 2 damage, gives us 2 XP, and on our first run the Thug fight did earn us early XP, but also this is quite tough early on, with no other combat skill to help us right now. So we do 3 damage and we take 1 because of our armor. Let's roll again, we do 4 damage, take another 1 because of our armor, and let's roll once more. Okay, that's enough. 2 XP from that, so 2 HP for 2 XP. Still fine. We're still not in range for our combat ability, but yeah, just trying to move along and level up. Sadly no potion for us or XP at the empty shelter. Or I guess we did get XP, right? Okay, so the blacksmith is interesting. I like these new traders that the new season added, but this is kind of out of the way in the sense that we won't have the choice afterwards, and because we don't have any gold and she only buys armor for 2 gold, which is a terrible price, I think this would be of no value to us. The Dark Codex does pose a pretty likely risk of losing that 1 point of XP. Yeah, so we could visit the Codex, probably lose the XP because we're level 1. We have a pretty high chance of failing that skill check. So is the choice of the 2 cards worth the 1 point of XP when compared to just visiting this unknown card? I'm not too sure. All depends on what's under here. Now, if the blacksmith was a complete negative card for us, I'd visit the Codex and just risk it. But this way I'm actually tempted to, yeah, go with the blacksmith route just to not lose that XP early. Let's try that. So we'll go here, won't sell or buy anything. There is no passive effect regarding traders. I keep checking here. I'm sorry if this slows the game down too much, but I've missed aura effects in the previous videos, so I really want to make sure, we've got the damn cave here, really want to make sure I am keeping track of these as best as I can. Damn cave is fine, I like it usually. Let's see if we can't get something nice. Huh. So that's the ghost fight, or the criminal fight again. We could turn it into a piece of food. Now, actually we're full on food. It's interesting, it's an interesting choice. Last time we kind of died because we got a little cocky, I think, on the second floor, although actually all of our rolls were pretty bad and we didn't get any rewards after the first, like, 1 or 2 rooms, I think. I am tempted right now, just because 2 XP is worth so much early on, to fight the criminal here. If he hits us once, we'll be able to use our combat ability after that. But, you know, worst case, this can take, this can kill us, worst case, of course, if we keep rolling X's. Sadly, we don't have the Bracer of Might anymore. I'll try it here. Maybe that's too risky. That's pretty well designed, I think, with the criminal, because the ghost only gives 1 XP early on, but the criminal already gives 2, which makes it so tempting, actually. But it is quite tough, so I like that. So we do 4 damage here, and we take 1 because of our armor, and now we're at 7 or below, so I will flip this, and our die now has +1 for the remainder of the combat sequence, which we can use. So another point of damage taken by both sides there. Let's roll again. So we want a 4 at least. Perfect. So because of our +1, that's a 5. And we kill the criminal before... Actually, because of the power drain, this is a 6 damage even. 2 XP for us. So yeah, maybe a bit of a risk. I think we got off the hook quite well here, only taking 2 points of damage. And now we have a great outlook in regards to leveling up. Let's see, and try to play a bit more defensive on the next floor. I was about to reset the floor, but actually we also need to delve. So let's spend the food here to refresh. We move down and draw 2 delving cards. We've got the settlement ruins or the toxic tunnels now. Easy choice and interesting, actually. The reward early on, very first delving phase. Let's do it. This could really hook us up here. I will take the gold. I will also, sorry, I forgot to mention, but I also flipped the Bracer of Might. I just didn't count down the food. And now we roll for rewards. So this might remedy our lack of potions or healing, or even give us a second piece of armor, which would be very nice for the first boss, or level us up even. So let's roll here, 5. 4 HP or a holy potion. Now the 4 HP are very tempting as a means of survival, obviously. The holy potion is as well, because it directly counteracts our noxious aura if we do get cursed or poisoned, because fighting the tormentor early on could be deadly as well. I'll take the HP for now, I think. Actually, I just realized, could also take a scroll, because anytime you gain a potion, you can decide to draw a scroll instead, which is probably the most fun option. But let's stick with the HP for now, because we're so close to leveling up. I'd really hate to lose the run now. So let's look at our first boss here, the Honor Guard. Our level up, if we can get it until the boss fight, might come in very handy here, because he's got that armor and high HP. So the extra damage output from the second die might counteract that. Because I think with one singular die doing 14 damage to the enemy which has one piece of armor, that'll take a while. Okay, area 2, there we are. Let's have a look here. Trap right off the bat. Hope we don't fall down. This could put a damper on things. We do actually, oh no. Is there any way to prevent this? No, our Brace of Might also doesn't give us control there. Yeah, so what that means is we take 3 damage and we fall straight down. And now usually you'd pick up all the cards and reset the floor with the trap as the starting room, which you then treat as being resolved, so you don't roll on it again. But because this already was the starting room, I think I can just leave everything as is and continue, except this is now area 4 and we've skipped the Honor Guard, and get to look at our next boss instead, which is the Arcanist. And now we're really in hot water, because we're still level 1 and we'll be fighting the floor 2 boss. Now we really need the level up. We're way behind the curve now. But I don't think there's much we could have done there, because I had no way of replacing or skipping that room. Yeah, just a turn of bad luck. Let's look here. Got the Archer or the Armory. Armory could be nice and works well with our Noxious Aura, because performing feats lowers our Torment. The Archer would give us that desired level up. So actually I believe maybe the right place to go visit the Archer. I hate the Archer because it's a ranged enemy, but we've got the Brace of Might and the combat skills are used even before rolling. So I think if I use the combat skill, which will instantly kill the Archer, I don't have to roll, so I don't have to take damage from the Archer, which would only be 1 point of damage anyways, but yeah. So I think I'll do that. Flip this, kill the Archer, and that way gain 1 gold and 1 XP and a level up. I would have liked the Bracer for the Arcanist fight, because we could have pretty much guaranteed taken out one of the 3 copies of the Arcanist with the Bracer. But like this, we've got much better odds now in the next rooms, because we're level 2. And there's a deathbed, which I don't think we will be facing. And there's the new trap, which I guess we will just choose then instead. So that is not a success. So that means we take 2 damage and we are blinded. Oh, also I didn't reroll for the treasure map, I just realized. So a 5 means we're actually on course right now, still on par for the treasure map. No, I don't think I even roll for it, because we fall down, so I'm not gonna count that actually, because looking at this, it's at the end of the preparation phase. We didn't have one. Did we? Probably should have. Whatever. I'll just we'll just hold off on the treasure map for this floor. So now we can't even have a look at the cards. Yeah, I'm really doubting our chances here now, because we're low on HP and we're blinded and we're on a floor that is far too strong for us. Let's just go here. Another monster, of course. This is a very red floor again. 3 monsters, 2 traps, and the boss. We've got the burrowing worm, which could have us fall down, which would just be hilarious, wouldn't it? Maybe we're speedrunning today, just falling down and being killed by the final boss. Let's roll. Oh, what a roll. But yeah, that's 6 damage, so that's the worm taken care of. We gain 2 XP. Sadly doesn't help us right now. Not immediately. And now we're fighting the Arcanist. Okay, so let's use our combat ability. +1 to all of our dice. And the Arcanist has 3 copies. Or I guess 2 copies of itself and the Arcanist. With 7 HP each. So 21. And if we take damage, all of the damage is sort of added together and then our armor is subtracted from that. So because this only deals 1 damage with each attack, you might think our armor is going to block all of that. But the rules clarify that you essentially only get to block using your armor once on one of the attacks. So yeah, let's roll here. Okay, so at least the monster didn't roll a 5, which would have had it doing extra damage, although we might need to roll more. This is 2, 7, and +1 on each die, so 9 damage, which actually means we already took out 1 of them. There's 2 remaining. One of them rolled a 3, which is 1 damage that gets blocked by our armor. And the other one crits, but actually that's fine, because it's just 1 damage and the armor wouldn't have blocked that anyway. So we take 1. That's better than a 5. Now, does this increase our character die results by 1 as well, because a 6 was rolled? I don't know about the ordering actually. I'm gonna say no. So let's roll again. Hope we can do 11 here. Not quite. It's 6 plus the 2 from our skill, so down to 4, but that means only 1 Arcanist left. That rolled a 3, and that gets blocked by our armor, so I think we're out of the woods here. Let's roll again, and he even misses, and we kill the Arcanist. So what was that? We took 2 damage, was it? Yeah, I think so. We gain 3 XP, putting us at 11, and another reward. So do we risk the lore card maybe to hope for something more substantial than just the gold? Let's do that. Let's do that. I rarely do that, but right now the gold is of no use to us. And we kind of need some gas, because yeah, this run is again behind the curve thanks to falling down. So let's see here. Quite a few choices. The Amateur Alchemist. You open a beautifully ornate door and find a dead body on the floor, charred in places, and shards of broken glass litter the floor. A grimoire on a carved bone stand catches your eye. You flip the pages and find 3 recipes. Now we are a blue class, so we can't brew our own, as it says down here. But we can brew one of the other potions for a cost. The Elixir of Rejuvenation, 1 food for the healing potion. Now very tempting. Filter of Cleansing for a holy potion, or the Liquid Fire. Now actually 2 gold for a potion, and by extension a scroll, might be a great deal for us. I just said we're not using our gold for much, although we really are looking for healing. But I don't feel like spending the food right now, because we're low on it. What's smart here? I will try the scroll, so I'll spend the 2 gold on a holy potion, but instead of a holy potion I'll draw a scroll. And it's the Scroll of Lightning, which we could have really used against the Arcanist, but oh well, this will still help us with the tough combats that are ahead. So I'll put this down here. And we still get to roll on the rewards. And now I'm hoping for some healing. CF4, no healing there, but a piece of armor. That's nice. I mean, the fire potion could be of great use to us as well, but maybe the defensive option is better right now. Okay, so that's the Arcanist taken care of. Do I like our odds? I don't know. At least we've got some fun stuff now with the Scroll of Lightning and 2 pieces of armor, and we are level 2, so doesn't look terrible, but we're moving down to floor 3 and we're still way off leveling up to level 3. Yeah, so also we need to spend the food now to refresh, and I don't think I refreshed the Bracer of Might, so it might be really useful, but that's our last piece of food. And also we don't really have an item right now that we would need carrying with, or help to carry a second item, so I won't. Let's move down and draw only 1 delving card because we're blinded. Dark Cave, we lose an XP. That's so unnecessary. Kicking us when we're down. But maybe that's the flagellant way and will come around at the end. Okay, right, there we are. Let's roll for the treasure map. A 2. Means if we take that zigzag path, we get our XP back that we just lost. Yeah, so more and more I'm realizing that exploration skill, the penance, is not too attractive, at least at the moment. I mean, obviously we're very low right now. Maybe if we had tons of HP to spare, that would be a different story, but yeah, at the beginning I thought, yeah, interesting skill, reminds me of the witch. But more and more, I think 3 HP is too much of a cost for 1 single XP. I guess if you're just about to level up, and like we were all early on, we could have used our skill to get the level up, but our HP is just too precious. So I think maybe if it got you 2 XP, that would be more viable, or maybe if it only cost 2 HP for the same reward. But at the moment, that skill is kind of dead to me. And the combat skill is quite nice, so I want to use it. So, we're blinded. Let's just head in here. Shrine. Don't like to see it, but we have 1 gold to prevent the poison. Let's roll here. Actually, I'm saying I don't like to see it, but this could cleanse us. 2, which gets turned into a 3, so we're cursed. Man, cleansing us would have been great here. And the healing. The curse, on the other hand, is sketchy because of our aura. Okay, so we'll follow the treasure map path then. If we have no other info. Tomb here. Let's roll. Curse is going to make it hard to hit those successes now. And that's a 4, which is just 1 XP. Could have gotten a holy potion, but 1 XP is fine. Oh, the Abyssal Veil. Man, we're hitting all of the cursed cards here. So, what this is an item which actually is bad to pick up, but as opposed to the cursed relic, which you have to pick up, we at least get a roll here. Though because we are already cursed, it's unlikely to succeed. Yeah, no success there. And we rolled a 3, so we pick it up and get cursed. Otherwise we would have also gotten blinded, which we are already as well. So we now have this item, and we can only discard it at a shrine room, like the one we saw earlier. And each time we refresh our skills, our torment increases. So hate that. Keep it just off screen here again. And I guess we'll keep following the treasure map. Secret passage, bit of a gamble. Let's draw another lore card, second one this run. The reflection, oh no, it's a fight. An imposing mirror, larger and taller than you, stands in the middle of this Spartan room. The mirror has a tarnished patina and reflects your image in a twisted way. Cautiousness could not prevent your curiosity from touching the glass. The reflection boils in a cloud of smoke, and an unrecognizable you steps out of the mirror. Your reflection wants you dead. In better shape than you are, they might just defeat you. But they are lacking one thing that you possess, ruthless despair. You must fight. Okay, and because we're on floor 3, it's got 25 HP and does 5 damage. This feels like we can say goodbye to this run, but I don't want to be too pessimistic. So, what do we do here? Combat skill for sure. Scroll of Lightning for sure. Do we spend the XP to be able to do 12 damage instead of 6? I think so. So let's spend 1 and do 12 damage using the Scroll of Lightning, putting this at 13. And that's the Scroll of Lightning gone. And we use our combat skill, which means we get +1 to all of our dice. Whoop. And now we roll and hope the curse doesn't trigger. Which it didn't. Oh, we're blessed. I feel like this was a divine intervention right now. So we're rolling 2 7s. So 14 damage, which is already enough. Thanks to our skill actually, otherwise the 12 we'd have to re-roll one of the crits. But like this we kill our reflection and we get a reward. So let's not take another lore card and instead take the 2 gold, and now let's roll here. We did spend 1 XP on this. So all in all the lore card is still kind of bad, depending on what we get now. 2 XP, okay, that would be a refund, or the healing, and I think it'll have to be the healing. So healing potion. So we essentially spent 1 XP for a healing potion. I don't like spending XP, but I like surviving, so maybe that's fine right now. And let's continue down our path here, path number 2, and we get back 1 point of XP thanks to the treasure map, so it all evens out. And now we delve again. So let's delve, spending food, refresh our skill. Can't refresh the Bracer of Might. Quick update, we've got the Bracer of Might face down and we've got the Abyssal Veil still. Because we refreshed our skill, our aura increases, which means we now get cursed when we visit treasure rooms, but we are already cursed, so right now that's of no importance to us. Now when delving, let's draw that 1 delving card. We have to face the ghost on the haunted stairs, which again is the criminal for us. So I guess this is a level 3 criminal. The Arbalist, 14 HP, 5 damage ranged, that is nasty, but gives 3 XP, but still I don't like that. So let's roll here. And we've got no tricks up our sleeve this time, except for maybe using our combat skill immediately again. Yeah, let's do that. So +1 on all of our die rolls. It's one of the reasons I'm not using the Holy Potion immediately. I mean, I never do, because you can use it only if you really need it. But staying at low HP is obviously good with our character. So let's roll here. The curse triggered. So we've got +1 on all of our dice, but also -1. So I guess this just stays as 7 damage. But the Arbalist also hits us first, doing 5, which is reduced by 2 because of our armor, so 3 damage. Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna need the Holy Potion, because they will shoot us again. Let's roll here. And the curse triggers again, and we roll an X. Are you kidding me? Okay, so Arbalist does damage. Need to use the healing potion to survive, so we heal for 6. And the Arbalist again does 3 damage to us, leaving us at 4. We do 4 damage, leaving them at 3. We roll again, which means they will shoot us once more. And yeah, that's enough to kill them, but they shoot first. Good thing they didn't crit, so that's only 3 damage, which means we're left at 1 HP. And we kill the Arbalist, gaining 3 XP. And now actually being able to delve down. That was just the delving card. Yeah, so we're starting here into area 6. Still not level 3. We've got 1 single HP left. No potions, no scrolls, no nothing. And we've got the freaking Abyssal Veil, which keeps increasing our torment, which will also increase now because we are cursed or poisoned. There we are. Okay, so as I just said, because now after delving we are cursed, this increases by 2. So now our cleanses got worse as well. Yeah. I don't know if we'll die to a monster or if we'll make it to the Tormentor fight and die there. Both seem likely at the moment. Yeah, so let's re-roll our treasure map here at 6. Okay, that's nice. I'm just looking, still blinded. Don't have much at our disposal, so let's look under the first room. Armory, okay, cool. That could help us with our torment. And that is a success actually, because the curse didn't trigger, so it's a success on a 2, which is a rusty dagger, so just 1 free feat, but better than nothing, so we'll take that. And for now I'll follow the treasure map path in hopes of getting that potion or scroll. Tomb again. Holy Potion would be very welcome right now. That might help us turn things around. A 4, which is the Codex. Okay, so that's 1 XP. Not bad. I would have liked some food as well, because right now looks like we're starving at the end of the floor. Or do we go to the middle in case we get cleansed? We have a choice. I think we'll try the treasure map path because of the potion. Okay, here we go. This might be it for us. So we're fighting the undead Arbalist at 12 HP. And that does 6 damage. Poisons us. So essentially we have to do 12 damage in one roll here. And if we don't, we are probably dead, unless the monster misses. Let's see. Okay, not a bad start, no curse, that makes it possible even. Sadly the monster didn't miss, so right now we're doing 9 damage, which would leave him at 3. He'd be doing 4 to us because of the armor and we'd die. So we pretty much have to use feats here. So I will use our armory feat, our 1 free feat on the 4. Hope this turns into a 6, which would then allow us to reroll that and get to 12. Ooh, nice roll there, but still not enough. So I guess we'll have to do one more feat for 1 XP on the other die, the 5, and just hope this turns into a 6 now. And if it doesn't, we're dead. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, wait. So 11 damage. Now we have to reroll the 6 and hope for not a miss. Okay, 15 damage. Whew, I can't believe it. So we actually did enough damage to kill the monster before it hits us. We get back 2 XP. I was so ready to pack everything up and start a new run there. But yeah, we'll continue. We'll live yet one other room. Let's see. Ah, the murder of crows. I was hoping for anything but a fight here. Ah, crap. Well, okay. I was so happy about the roll just now, but I think this might actually be it for us. If there was anything, maybe a merchant, maybe even a bonfire or anything else, then we could have just safely gotten to the end of the area and gotten a potion from the treasure map, healing potion, and then we'd been not safe, but looking better again. But like this, so that's a crow, or 3 crows with 8 HP each, so 24 damage. And they do 2 damage each, which our armor will block one of them. So I guess the plan here is to either do 16 damage on the first roll somehow, so only 1 crow hits us and that'll be blocked by the armor, or we have to have many crows miss. Let's roll here. Oh, also we performed a feat. We performed 2 feats actually, so our torment goes down twice. Okay, there's a crit. That enables some stuff for us. Let's first reroll that crit, so 6 damage plus 5, very nice, 11 damage. And now I'll do a feat here. Another crit, okay, I can't believe this. So this die is doing 11 damage, and like this we're doing 17, which is enough to kill 2 of the crows, which then means only the last crow hits us. And that gets blocked by our armor. Now, do we risk rerolling this crit? If we lose it, we're dead. So I think we'll have to, although it's likely to give us more damage, we'll have to take the 17 damage here, putting the murder of crows at 7. Oh, I didn't even put the tracking cube here, so there's only 1 crow left now. That does 2 damage, which our armor blocks, because it only rolled a 5. So we survived that round, and let's roll again here. This is looking bad, but as long as they don't crit, we are safe now. So we are doing 4 damage, and the crow is doing 2 again, which our armor blocks. And we are doing 4 damage killing the crow, which gains us 2 XP. Very nice. And yeah, that's that. So we're 1 off leveling up to level 3 because we had to spend some XP on feats. Okay, so we also can lower our torment by 1 more because we did another feat just then. And now that we've reached the final room following the treasure map path, the question is, what kind of potion do we choose? Healing would keep us alive. Holy would maybe enable us to not run into as many monsters. So both are really tempting. But I feel like it has to be healing because we can't guarantee getting this lucky for much longer. So although I would love to get rid of the blindness especially and the curse is annoying as well. I think it'll have to be a healing potion for now. Or we could take a scroll. I'm just thinking. Yeah, there's a bunch of scrolls that could be good, but if we draw one that we can't use... also, I just realized if we took the holy potion, we'd die of starvation. So we need the healing potion. We need to drink it immediately for 6 HP. And now we can delve. So we have no food, meaning we starve. We refresh our character skill. And we could refresh the bracer if we had food, which we don't. We delve down and also draw one delving card. Countless doors. Okay, this could be good for us. Chance at another potion and losing food. I mean, that would be HP. So let's roll here. Hope for a success. And it is a success. Okay, things are looking up. So I think for the second potion, maybe let's take the holy potion. Because, or more healing. I feel like we really need healing, right? But the holy potion would allow us to see and then not run into nasty rooms. I'm gonna take the holy potion. I hope this is not a mistake, just to use it immediately for the single reason that it also prevents us from increasing our torments on the next floor. So we also get to look at the boss here, the King's Protector. Okay, that is deadly. Our armor won't help us there. And I reset the area here. And there we are. So let's reroll for the treasure map. Another 6. Oh, I just flipped that. Another 6. That is very interesting. Let's see if we can make that work. So we get to look at our first room here. Oh, a nook. Okay, so as tempting as it is to use our exploration skill to be able to level up to level 3, that would leave us at 1 HP, so I'm not doing that. So let's just enter the nook. We won't get the benefit of the skill refresh, but so be it. And we can forage for a piece of food, which is gonna be useful to us, although I'd like to rest as well, but can't have it all. So let's flip the next rooms here. It's nice to be able to see. Bonfire as well, okay. Now this is really going our way. Now we can't follow the treasure map if we visit the bonfire. But I'm also worried of fighting the criminal here, so maybe let's just say goodbye to that free potion, which sucks, but this way we can get 1 XP to level up to level 3. We've got a trap, or the alcove. I think maybe I'll visit the trap just because our odds of success are really good, and then we have the choice afterwards. Because the alcove, it's fine, but yeah. Oh, I also just realized we still have the Abyssal Veil, so our torment should have increased when we were refreshing our skill on the way down here. We can only discard it at a shrine room. Have we seen a shrine room? I don't think we have. Yeah, so maybe let's risk the trap, although losing the food or the armor, all of it would suck. And we can't pick up the alcove because we have the Abyssal Veil as an item and our bracer is flipped face down. Let's risk it here. This run is a bit ridiculous anyways at this point. I think we gotta take some risks to even have a shot, because as I see it right now, we're sort of surviving, but we'll probably die against the King's Protector or the next tough enemy. so no need to draw it out unnecessarily. If we want to have a chance at success, we have to take some risks here. And that didn't pay off, so that means we lose HP equal to the floor, so 3 HP left at 1 again. But as we know, the only point of HP that matters is the last one. So there's another trap, or the crow. Both aren't great, but this trap runs the risk of us leveling down, so let's visit the crow and just give it 1 coin. And now we'll fight the King's Protector, which has 20 HP. And we essentially have to do 20 damage, or the King's Protector has to miss. Otherwise we're dead. Let's roll here. Okay, very mixed bag. We have to do some feats. The thing is, if we do feats, we level down. I don't know how this works. If we now do a feat for 1 XP, do we have to throw away one of the dice, or does it just mean on the next round we roll 2 dice? Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll spend 1 on this feat here. And that turned into a 3. And I'll spend another 1 on this one. And that did turn into a crit. So that's 14 damage. And we have to re-roll this crit. That turned into another 3. So these up here are 12 damage by themselves. Now we have to somehow do 8 using this die. So another feat. And that turned into an X. So we're doing 12 damage. Putting the King's Protector at 8. But it does 6 to us, piercing our armor and killing us. Oh, actually, wait. We should have used our combat skill, but that would have only given us +3. Would we have had it then? I just realized. Because we had the 5 here, the 3 and the crit with the 3. So this is 12, 17. If we'd used our combat skill, that would have been 20. Oh no, that's so annoying. I didn't remember to use the combat skill. I think we would have maybe then been able to kill the guy on the first round. Well, but like this, he kills us and that's game. Yeah, so couple of not so great runs here. Really only scraped by here, barely surviving, and the first one we don't really have to talk about at all. That was such a quick loss. But I think this also has to do with some really bad room/dice luck, because can't just be the character, I think. I mean, we've just started using this character and both runs have been really bad, and it is true that I've not gained any value from the exploration skill, and the combat skill is kinda good, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's the strongest character, but I also feel like that this was a combination of the character and some really bad luck with the rooms. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and I'll see you back next time, probably having another shot at this with this flagellant character. Until then, have a great day, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.